Ladies and gentlemen, we got some breaking news coming out of the city of Detroit in a shocking, and I do mean shocking, have I said that word, shocking? In a shocking turn of events. This is coming from Ian Rappaport just a few moments ago. Says free agent safety CJ Moore is re-signing. I repeat, re-signing with the Lions on a 1-year deal, sources said. After serving a gambling suspension that took away his 2023, Moore is back in Detroit. Man, oh man, I tell you what. CJ Moore is a special teamer, and he was good at his job. But he was one of the 3 Detroit Lions out of the 4 people suspended last year. I think there were 4 people suspended. 3 of them were Detroit Lions. 2 of them were gambling on NFL games, which is a no-no. CJ Moore is a veteran. Jamison Williams was guilty of something else. He placed a wager on a non-NFL game on his employment premises, wherever they consider that you could be anywhere that the NFL deems employment premises. You could be in the team hotel on a road trip. You could be on the bus. You could be in the parking lot of Allen Park. But CJ Moore, I am flabbergasted. There's so many different ways I can go right now, but believe it or not, I don't want to stay. I got some thoughts. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. And not at CJ Moore and who he was. I am more shocked at the point that this is something that Brad Holmes, I would have never seen coming. Not everyone can play for the Detroit Lions. They were swiftly released when they were suspended last year. I mean, swiftly. Demetrius Taylor, he was another person that was on our team. We had 3 of the 4 people suspended. 3 of them were on our team. Jamison, he got the 6-game suspension that was reduced to 4. This is shocking to me. This is going completely against what we know of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Now, am I upset at this? There's no reason for me to be upset at CJ Moore. Do I think he's going to replace a safety? The need for a safety? No. There's still Quandre Diggs or Justin Simmons or something like that. That's not what this is about. I am shocked. I am shocked because that type of behavior typically does not fit the Detroit Lions. Now, I'm going to tell you what. Bruh. See, this is stuff I be talking about. Now, I lose subscribers. I get thumbs down, which I can't even see anyway. In the comment section, crying like a little baby, all that stuff. CJ Moore doesn't bother me. But when I said that we weren't going to take Jalen Carter, that we weren't going to take Trevondre Sweat, that we weren't going to take anyone with any type of questionable history, now I'm confused because CJ Moore knew exactly what he was doing when he did it. He wasn't a rookie. He was a veteran. Betting on an NFL game. For the Detroit Lions, that's as good as a death sentence, or it was. So now I don't know what to think anymore. Now I'm starting to kind of reflect on people that we could have had maybe. For those of you who wanted Jalen Carter, now it's not on the same level. I get it. I understand that. I'm not saying it is. But if there was anything off about your character, if you were not a A1 citizen, the Detroit Lions didn't want to have anything to do with you. And the most recent example was Cam Sutton. I mean, again, these are not on the same level of putting somebody's life in danger. I'm not saying that. But now I'm genuinely confused. I'm confused. Because CJ Moore, he was not that much of a value that I would have expected him to come back. I put out a Twitter post. They will not be turned into the Detroit Lions. And I was wrong. This is surreal. It's like, and it's not even, it's not a big deal. It's not like, it is. Now I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused as to who Brad Holmes is, who he is, what he wants. You've been saying for 3 years now, we're going into year 4. You ended the season with the quotes, not everybody can play for the Detroit Lions. and you bring back a guy who blatantly disrespected you and the organization and the entire NFL, blatantly. Now, on one hand, I'm like, okay, Brad, all right. So what does this mean for the future? Does this mean like now you can have a little spot? Your past, your character can be spotted. It doesn't have to be unblemished. Is that what this means? CJ Moore is a non-factor. He is a special teamer. You will never most likely see him or rarely see him on anything other than a special teams play. Again, that is not what this is about. This is genuine confusion on my face because there are so many other players. Some of you wanted so many other players that the Detroit Lions could have had that had spotty character, a little bit of shade in them, a little shady, just a little bit, a little shaky, right? There are so many of them. And now we take it back to a Jalen Carter. We could have used the defensive tackle last year. Now I can't say what I said back then. I don't know what Brad Holmes, I have no idea. No clue. I mean, I knew he was a wild card. I knew he was a wild card in the NFL draft. I learned this year that the dude is not going to spend money on people he don't draft. I also learned that there's a specific position that he's not trying to really handle like that with a person of high quality. But now I'm genuinely confused. Now I don't know who this man is, what he wants. I'm confused. I mean, Quintez Cephas is back in the league. I'm not saying that they didn't deserve to be back in the league, but this CJ Moore returning to the Detroit Lions is something I would have never seen coming. And now I am starting to wonder what else could have been and what can be now. Because, see, for me, this opens the door. Now the door is wide open. Paying St. Brown and paying Penei Sewell means that Brad Holmes is not cheap under certain circumstances. Bringing in a guy who you cut because he gambled on an NFL game. He did his time, but bringing back that same guy is totally out of character. So does that mean that Brad Holmes has become more of the villain that he so claims to be? Now I'm interested. I'm interested in the future. I'm interested in the trade deadline. I'm interested to see if you're willing to bring back a guy who you cut a year ago, because I don't believe the Detroit Lions had to cut him. I mean, obviously he would have hogged up a roster spot, but you cut him to bring him back. Something not only we've never seen from them, and I didn't think we would ever see it. Wow. Breaking news, man. CJ Moore suspended last year for gambling on an NFL game returns to the Detroit Lions on a 1-year deal. This opens so many things for me now. I would love to hear your opinion in the comments. What are your thoughts in the comments below? Now you're thinking about Sweat. Now you're thinking about Carter. I mean, what are you, again, not on the same level. I'm not trying to compare the two. But one thing that we knew for a certainty, that if you did anything, if you were questionable, your character was shady, spotty, blemished, if you weren't a crispy, clean character, you were not going to play for the Detroit Lions. CJ Moore is not that talented that he had to be on this team. So now I'm very curious. Believe it or not, y'all, I don't, this is not what you're like complaining or crying and all this other stuff. I'm just trying to, I just want to win. I just want to win. And now I'm saying to myself, okay, well, I'm just genuinely confused now. So does that mean that we bring kind of a bad guy in here? Kind of a guy, not like a CJ Gardner-Johnson, not a gimmick, but an actual guy like an Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh was dirty. Okay, what you Lions fans, if you saw it just like I did, right? So this video and breaking news wasn't supposed to be over 10 minutes. It really, but I'm confused. I'm confused. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, man. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. This, you can't really see it, But this is the look of confusion on my face. I am genuinely confused, man. Go Lions. This opens up a whole lot more for me. A whole lot more.